Tonight on Texas News Channel, how UT protects pedestrians,
A species of salamander finds itself under Mopac.
and how Austin is recovering a year after the string of bomb threats that terrified the city.
You're watching Texas News Channel.
Your leader for live, local UT coverage. Good evening and welcome to Texas News Channel. For Monday, March 4th, I'm Baylee Wang.
And I'm Abigail Arredondo. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, Abigail, it's Monday again. We have a
Yes.
whole nother week in front of us. About this
Exactly.
week and next until we're at spring break, and I'm counting it down.
Oh yes, I'm excited.
For sure, but you know, Monday, weekend, missing it a lot.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of stuff happened this weekend too. There was
Exactly,
the Texas Independence Day parade, but
Mhm.
actually some not so happy news and anniversaries that happened this past weekend. I can't believe it's been this long, but it has now been a year since the first explosion of the Austin bombing rampage that killed 2 people and injured 5 others.
On March 2nd, 2018, an explosion caused by a package bomb killed 39-year-old Anthony Stephen House at his home. 10 days later, a second explosive device was delivered to a home in East Austin that killed 17-year-old Draylen Mason and left his mother injured. The same day, a third package bomb exploded, hurting a woman at her home.
6 days later, a 4th bomb was detonated by a tripwire in a southeast Austin neighborhood, injuring 2 men. A few days after that, a 5th package exploded at a FedEx facility north of San Antonio, leaving a worker with minor injuries.
The culprit behind the serial bombings was later identified as 23-year-old Mark Anthony Condit after police and federal authorities raided his home and pursued him on I-35, which ended in a self-detonated explosion, killing Condit.
1 year after the bombings, the Austin Youth Orchestra celebrated the life of Draylen Mason. The orchestra collected donations for the Draylen Mason Scholarship Fund to help low-income families pay for music lessons. Mason was accepted into UT's Butler School of Music just before his death. Professor Donnie Ray Albert at the School of Music performed at the celebration in Mason's honor.
It's been almost 2 years since a UT sexual assault and misconduct survey found 15% of undergraduate women reported they had been involved in some sort of sexual harassment during their time at the university. The University of Texas Police Department wants to increase the number of sexual assault reporting with their Victim Feedback Project. The department is working with the Title IX office and the School of Social Work to use focus groups, surveys, and in-person interviews to gather information and help put an end to the issue.
Austin police say the city had the largest number of pedestrian traffic fatalities in more than 10 years. However, there have been no fatalities here at UT. Our Mercedes Gonzalez shows us why.
In 2018, Austin saw 74 traffic fatalities. 31 of those were pedestrian fatalities, while UT saw none. The University of Texas Police Department says the speed limits around campus contribute to UT's lack of pedestrian fatalities.
Even in West Campus, it depends on the street you're on, but typically it's going to be around 30, 35 miles an hour. So keeping cars at a slower pace, so they have better reaction time. If a pedestrian is out in the roadway, they can react better rather than, 40, 50 miles an hour.
UTB also says it's important to be aware of your surroundings.
Pedestrian, we educate you as well. Hey, if you see a car isn't going to stop, please don't step out in front of them, but know that you do have the right of way, etc. Just trying to educate both sides to make sure that they understand how to be safe.
Bogart says drivers should follow transportation code, such as yielding to pedestrians, and pedestrians can be safe by being aware of what's going on around them.
So I like to make sure that even if I've got headphones in, that I'm still scanning all around me. And then if I'm walking as with a group of people en masse across, I feel like it's going to be harder for an individual car to target all of us.
You can contact the UTBD if you see an area on or off campus with reckless drivers. Mercedes Gonzalez, Texas News Channel.
Something I've noticed a lot of are all the parking zone signs changing around the city. Well, that's because the ParkX Paying app recently went through an update. The app itself launched in 2016 to give Austinites a way to pay for street parking using their phone. The app is now called Park ATX, and the updated version clearly marks the zones by using fixed streets instead of broad zones across the city. If you already have the app downloaded on your phone, you won't need to re-download or resubmit any information. The app will retain all of that. You can learn more at this link, parkatxapp.com.
Students going to South by Southwest might need to find another way to find another way home instead of hopping on an electric scooter. The Austin Police Department is banning all electric scooters along 6th Street, Red River Street, and Rainey Street from March 8th throughout the 17th. Officers say violators could be cited with a Class C misdemeanor and a $500 fine. Many students are excited about South by Southwest starting this week. However, for the first time in 25 years, the festival and UT spring break aren't at the same time. We asked some Longhorns how they feel about this inconvenience.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely limits students who want to go because they have to go to classes and they might not be able to miss as many classes if they wanted to attend an event.
Yeah, I just think it's annoying that South by Southwest is in the week before spring break. Like, what if students want to do it, but they have tests or projects?
I think one of them should have changed it back because people want to go, and most of South by's help was from student volunteers. Kind of losing out on a bit there.
Austin energy officials are warning customers of scanners who have obtained more than $16,000 from more than 700 people in the last year. These scam callers target non-traceable payment methods like prepaid credit cards. They also have threatened to shut off the victims' utilities. Austin Energy is working with police to prevent more scams and raise awareness.
So I was on my way to the show tonight when I passed by University United Methodist Church. On my walk, I noticed that they have announced their support for the LGBTQ community. This comes after the National Methodist Church voted to ban LGBTQ clergy and same-sex marriage within the church. The ban is set to go into effect by 2021. A pastor at University Methodist Church says his church will continue to perform same-sex marriages.
A federal lawsuit has been filed against UT by Speech First, a national organization that aims to protect students' First Amendment rights.
On March 1st, the University of Texas at Austin was involved in a court hearing for a lawsuit filed against the university by Speech First, a national organization promoting students' First Amendment rights.
We want all students to know, and we hope they do know, that they have full freedom of speech on this campus. And there have been some episodes over the last several years that many students will remember that demonstrate that.
The lawsuit cites controversial student events and their concern of limiting free speech by UT speech policy. One event that sparked national debate was the 2016 YCT bake sale. Friday's court documents can be found at the link provided. We will provide updates as the lawsuit is ongoing. Abigail Arredondo, Texas News Channel.
Technology created in Austin is now helping across the world. Zello is an app that works like a walkie-talkie with channels that users can also tune into. During Harvey, Houstonians used it as a form of communication, and now Venezuelans are using it in light of the humanitarian crisis and dictatorship. That is a really interesting app.
Oh, I know.
Couldn't believe it.
I should get that instead of my phone.
Exactly.
I'll keep prices down. Maybe I'll get more signal than what I'm usually getting. Well, coming up on Texas News Channel, Austin businesses raise money for nonprofits.
And why singing mice may be the key to how we talk to each other.
And I'll tell you more about the warm temperatures coming up later this week. But first, we have to bear the record cold temperatures tonight. Stay tuned.
Amplify Austin Day raised over $11 million for local nonprofits. The event is a 24-hour donation charity that takes place across Central Texas. About 700 local nonprofits participate in this day of service, and over $45 million have been raised over the past 6 years. These donations help organizations like Down Home Ranch, which helps adults with development disabilities. In Austin's effort to provide affordable housing, a historic home near Pecan Grove was demolished, and neighbors worry the grove may soon be the next to go. The Go Valley Neighborhood Association placed signs around the grove urging the city not to destroy it. We talked to the chairman about homeowners' concerns. Let's see what he had to say.
So the importance of the pecan grove is the same importance in general of protecting the tree canopy in East Austin. So what I'm saying to you is that what makes the pecan grove important as an environmental feature is that it's part of the tree canopy. And we do not want to lose the tree canopy. Now, the issue about affordable housing on that lot is separate from the issue of the pecan grove.
We are all used to construction on Mopac, but some little friends certainly are not. Construction has exposed underground caves that house salamanders that some environmental groups are trying to protect. The Save Our Springs Alliance and Center for Biological Diversity are suing the Texas Department of Transportation for leaving underground caves uncovered. These caves are home to an endangered species of salamanders, and the environmentalists' hopes are that TxDOT will consult with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Agency to protect them.
Researchers at the Baylor College of Medicine in Houston are working towards developing a birth control pill for men. Medical doctors are trying to design a separate male birth control pill as well that could be reversible, allowing sperm production to return to normal. The concept was successfully tested on mice in 2012, and clinical trials on men are hoping to begin within the next 10 years.
UT partnered with NYU School of Medicine to study a rat species known for its singing in Costa Rica. Research showed that these mice communicate like humans do. They've also found that within the brain's motor cortex, separate circuits enabled fast starts and stops to form conversation. This model is now being used to further explore speech circuits in humans and will one day hopefully develop new treatments for speech disorders.
Well, I'm just going to say it because everyone's been talking about it today, but it is so cold outside.
I wore 3 layers.
Oh, it was insane. I
warm.
did not want to leave my apartment this morning.
Nope.
It was absolutely miserable, and I cannot wait to go home and just turn up the heat and drink hot chocolate and go to bed. But maybe there will be some relief, hopefully. Let's see what Faith has for us in the Weather Center. Faith?
Thanks, Baylee. Well, Longhorns, it's finally March in Texas. I hope you were bundled up for our record-breaking cold weather today. I'll let you know what we're dealing with when we get back from the break. Stay tuned. Holy wow, guys, it's definitely cold out there. Let's take a look and see if this trend is going to continue throughout the week. The high for today was a brisk 34 degrees and will drop to the mid-20s tonight. Unfortunately for you warm weather lovers, there is still a hard freeze warning in effect until tomorrow morning. If you're planning on cheering on the Longhorns at the baseball field tomorrow, I would advise you to bring plenty of blankets. Tomorrow, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 47 and a low of 31. Come Wednesday, the temperature will begin to perk up and we will see sunny skies with a high of 53 and a low of 48. The rest of the week is looking like spring may be here. Mostly clear skies are expected to remain through Thursday and continue through the weekend. Well, we will just have to bundle up and survive this cold for a few more days, and hopefully we'll have some sun before spring break. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Faith Osterbeg. We'll be right back with sports.
Welcome back. Tonight we are joined by Eric Goodman, who is here to catch us up on how Texas baseball fared this weekend.
Baylee, thanks for having me. It was a pretty incredible weekend for Texas baseball. You remember when we were saying Texas football is back? Time to talk about baseball being back. The team took on number 2 LSU for a 3-game series capped up on Sunday, and we begin with Bryce Regan in the top of the 3rd going over the head of the outfielder. He got himself on second, would come around to score to tie the game 1-1, and then later in the inning, Austin Todd going all the way back over the fence. That is a home run. Texas takes the lead 3-1, and now down 6-4 in the bottom of the 9th. It would be Texas getting on the board, Mason Hibbler there, putting men on base, and then Duke Ellis legging out an infield single to keep the inning alive. And here's where it got bad for LSU. They tried to turn the double play, get neither of the outs. So Texas in business here, and Austin Todd, who hit the home run earlier, gets the clutch hit. Around comes the game-winning run to score, and it's a walk-off series sweep for Texas over the LSU Tigers. Tomorrow, the Horns will take on UTRGV, the Vaqueros at 6:30 at the Dish. And the next game will be aired on the Longhorn Network.
Well, thanks so much, Eric. So the Longhorns were absolutely dominant over the Tigers, but what were the keys to this sweep?
Keys to the sweep kind of been the keys that have made Texas successful this whole season so far. Really dominant starting pitching, especially look at Bryce Elder, your Friday starter, your ace, getting Texas off to good starts in their series. And then this is a deep team, and they've got guys stepping up all over the place. Right now it's Austin Todd and Duke Ellis, but you got guys, Zach Zubia hasn't even really got started yet. He was one of your best players last year. So Texas is really firing on all cylinders. There's no weakness I can see with this team, and they couldn't have shown it any better than with the 3-game sweep over LSU.
Wow, well, definitely defeating one of the best teams in the country is definitely a confidence booster for Texas. So what should the Horns take away from this series so far?
I bet what the feeling is in that locker room, what they've taken away, is they probably feel like they're never out of a game. I mean, we saw it down 3 runs in the 9th inning. Usually you kind of say, let's pack it in, we'll look at next week. But Texas didn't do that. They came out and they got men on base and got them in. Clutch hitting. I have to imagine it feels like these players feel like they cannot be beat no matter how much they're trailing in any given game, and that's the sign of a team that is going to have success later in the season.
Well, let's definitely hope for that and cheer on our boys. All right, it's always a pleasure to have you on, Eric. Let's head over to Rebecca to see what's new in Hollywood.
Welcome back to Texas News Channel. So it looks like 2019 is going to be the year of reboots. The classic 60s film The Sandlot is returning to screens as a TV series, and as an added treat, the original cast will star in it. And if that isn't enough nostalgia for you guys, Academy Award-winning director Jordan Peele will be narrating and hosting a revival of The Twilight Zone, starring comedian Seth Rogen. But book lovers aren't being left out. The Babysitter's Club book series is making a debut as a TV show on Netflix. Author Anne M. Martin hopes to inspire a new generation of readers and leaders everywhere. The Queen of Tejano music, Selena, could very well make her own state holiday. A Texas lawmaker submitted a bill to make April 16th Selena Quintanilla Perez Day in honor of the singer's birthday. This year, Selena would have been 47 years old, and the holiday will be another tribute honoring her life and legacy. Well, we didn't have to wait for the year 3000 for the Jonas Brothers to come back. Our favorite band of brothers are back with their new song, Sucker. The song debuted as #1 on Spotify, and the music video reached the top 5 most trending on YouTube. The trio is rumored to be releasing a new album and may even be going on tour together for the first time in 10 years. I know I'm burning up from the excitement. So, you've probably seen this photo when you were scrolling through Facebook and Twitter. Let's take a look at it. Our viral photo of the week is from a Texas grandma's photo shoot. Little did she know that her cute photos would turn into a sea rescue. The iceberg she was posing on broke off, drifted to sea, and took 77-year-old Judith Strang with it. The throne-shaped iceberg located in Jökulsárlón, Iceland, is known for attracting tourists, but dislodged when she sat on it to take a photo. That's all I have from the entertainment world. I'm Rebecca Saborio.
Thanks, Rebecca, and thank you for tuning in. If you have a news tip, email us at news@texasstudenttv.com. Be sure to follow us for news updates throughout the week. You can follow us on Twitter at Texas News TSTV and like us on Facebook.
Good Morning Texas goes live on Wednesday morning at 7, and Tower Talks is back Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Don't miss it. I'm Abigail Arredondo.
And I'm Baylee Wang. Have a great night.